Metric versus imperial. What's the difference and why does it matter? Have you ever looked at a recipe and wondered why it says cups instead of milliliters? Or why the weather app says it's 28 degrees Celsius, but your thermometer reads Fahrenheit? Yeah, me too. Today, we're talking about something you use almost every day, whether you realize it or not. Measurement. And more specifically, the two major systems the world uses to measure things, the metric system and the imperial system. Let's start simple. Both systems are just tools. They help us describe things like how long, how heavy, or how full something is. They give us numbers to answer questions like, how far is it to school? How much flour do we need? How tall am I now? But here's the catch. Not everyone uses the same set of tools. Let's talk metric first. The metric system is used almost everywhere on Earth. It's simple, logical, clean. Everything is based on powers of 10. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. 1 kilogram? That's 1,000 grams. It's like a ruler where all the lines make sense. And if you know how to multiply or divide by 10, 100, or 1,000, you're basically a pro. Now let's talk about imperial. This is the system used mostly in the United States and a few other places. Instead of meters, we use feet and inches. Instead of liters, we talk in cups and gallons. Instead of kilograms, we measure in pounds and ounces. Sounds fine, right? Until you ask, how many inches are in a foot? 12. How many feet in a yard? 3. How many ounces in a gallon? 128? Not exactly the cleanest math. So, where did this all come from? The imperial system comes from older British traditions, measurements based on things like a king's foot, a grain of barley, or whatever people happened to use at the time. The metric system came later, during the French Revolution, when people said, hey, can we just make this make sense? My dear Elsie. The goal was to create something universal, so that no matter where you were, France, Egypt, Japan, Brazil, you'd all be measuring things the same way. So why doesn't the US switch? That's a good question. The short answer is, change is hard. We've been using the imperial system for so long, and people are used to it. Plus, converting everything, street signs, food packaging, construction tools, would take a lot of time and money. Now let's talk trade-offs. The metric system is easier to learn and better for science. It's used by most of the world. And converting units? Super simple. The imperial system is more familiar for people in the US, but it's harder to calculate with and doesn't line up with how most of the world communicates measurements. So if you're in America, you kind of have to learn both, especially if you're into science, engineering, or international travel. Here's a quick comparison. A 2-liter soda? That's a little over half a gallon. A person who's 1.8 meters tall? That's about 5 feet 11. A 5K race? That's just over 3 miles. 1 kilogram? That's about 2.2 pounds. In the end, both systems work. They're just different ways of understanding the world around us. But knowing why they exist and how to switch between them gives you a secret superpower. You're not just doing math. You're speaking the language of the world, and that's something worth knowing.